while we're waiting for everybody to change rails. I don't think we're really going to be showing. Actually, Lisa, will you end up showing Paragon and how to access Homesnap off Paragon today?
I can, absolutely.
Cool.
That's no problem.
Then if you would show them where to access our YouTube channel right off our front page too. Oh, and
Okay.
because they are Real Estate One, you're going to have to show them how to get to our center section.
Let's go to, okay, so you have to help me here to get the YouTube. I usually go directly to YouTube. So where is it on the homepage?
Go to Paragon.
Oh, it's on our Paragon page. Okay. I was gonna say I didn't think it was on here, but let's see.
Oh yeah, we've got it hidden in a couple of places. All righty.
Let me go to our page here.
And there's our exciting offers, yay. All right, so you have a private MLS page just like Real Estate One does. So in order to get from your private MLS page to MiRealSources, just click the little MLS button where Lisa is right there, and ta-da! So there's all of our information where you can find the education corner. And then on the left-hand side, you see the purple quick links. Webinar library is about third from the top. There you go, right at the top there. Webinar library. So that's one. We also have a YouTube link there. It is, yep, at the very top.
I'm missing it. Let's see.
Yeah,
Well,
so
these take you directly to the YouTube, correct?
yeah, that is our YouTube channel. So you see our newest videos are right there. Or if you're going across the top row there, there's playlists. So we have them organized by grouping. So if you want Homesnap, if you want Paragon, if you want listing entry, they are all grouped into subjects. That makes it really easy to find them. So we have it, there's that one link. And as you go back to Paragon, at the under the resources or icon, actually in the main body there, yep, right there, you got right under that, you'll see our YouTube link. We have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and our YouTube channel right there. So that'll get you there, same place. All right, so that's where we will load it up. I will make sure to email Al and everybody else to give them a direct link to that. All right, so we've got a lot of people on the webinar already, so let's go ahead and get started.
All right, seems like a plan.
Oh, it fell asleep, yep. So as you guys know, this is Lisa Harris. She is a realtor. She's actually the one that trained me coming onto MiRealSource a whopping 9 years ago, which is a lot of fun. I was so grateful to have such an instructor who had such a depth of knowledge. And she has still been a plethora of information throughout the years, and I'm glad that she's been teaching with us this entire time. She's been a huge help, and even, guess what, we'll rope her into tech support too, because we're down a person in tech support. So Lisa steps right in for us, and we greatly appreciate that. So Lisa is going to be showing her phone on the computer, and you'll see her, she's connecting now through a reflector, and she'll be able to show you exactly what it looks like using your phone. Now you guys know that you can also access Homesnap right from Paragon. Under the resources icon, you can go right to Homesnap. There is also a link to Homesnap on every single listing of ours and other MLSs as well, which allows you to share your listings. You can message your clients. It just depends on which you're more comfortable with, using the mobile or the desktop version, but it's the same app on either side. Excellent. All right, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Lisa. And you guys have a great class. I will be in the background. Oops, yes, and Sylvia has a question. Is that the upper up or just northern Michigan? Oh no, it is the UP, the Upper Peninsula. So there's the Upper Peninsula and the Eastern Upper Peninsula. Eastern Upper Peninsula is not ready to share just yet, not even for free. So we said we would cover the costs, and they're not ready to do that yet. So Yep, it is the Upper Peninsula Association of Realtors, who is now in your local database. Excellent. All right, Lisa, I'm going to turn off my camera and stay on the questions in the background. And if you need me, I will be here.
Sounds good. Thanks, Deb. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to turn my camera off as well. So I am in Homesnap. So if you can get into your Homesnap, go ahead and open that up, and I will walk you through everything. Again, if you have questions on the right side of your screen, you can select the questions and type it in. And Deb's great. She'll be on, and she'll let me know or stop me, or she'll answer them as we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at our Homesnap page. So when you log in, the first thing you're going to see is this map will pop up, and it'll start pulling some listings for you. Now, as you notice, I am not in Michigan right now. I was actually looking in California, and yeah, these are some crazy prices here for these little small homes. We want to relocate this to where we're at. So you do have a couple options here for when they run a search. So they can either, and yourself as well, at the top here, you have a magnifier, and they can type in a city, an address, a zip code, an MLS number, and it'll run a search for them that way. You can also, on your map to the bottom right corner right here, this is your GPS locator. So if they click on this, this will tell you where you're at that point. So wherever they're located, that will actually take them to that. Now, if I go back here at the top, it's going to take a second here, it's now trying to load. Zoom in a little bit here, there we go. So if I go back to the top here and I go ahead and type in, let's go ahead and just type in a area, I'm just doing Macomb Township. There's probably a good amount of homes out there. Okay. And so when I do the area at the top, you notice it actually drew a map for me on my page, and all these properties start popping up. Under where it says the location, it's for sale tab, a for rent tab, and all homes. So right now it's showing everything that's for sale. There's an option for rent, and all homes will pull everything in that area. So it actually gives you that approximate value on those properties. To the right of that, you have a sort option. So if you go to the sort, it actually gives you the order that is pulling these in the list below. So I can go by the date it was listed, the bedrooms, bathroom, price, square footage, year built, whatever you're looking for, whatever sort order you want to see in your list. So if I want to go say price low to high, I just hit done, then that's going to put those back in order for me. And you can notice my list is down here. You can filter this so it's not as broad, because if you don't have any filters on, it's going to pull everything in the area. So if you go to the right of where it says sort, you're going to click on that little filter, and you have all these options here. So if you start off at the top where it says status, they're going to want to toggle on and off whatever they want to see. Usually, I believe the default, everything's turned on. So they're probably not going to want to see the recently off market or the solds. They're looking for properties that are available. They might want to see open houses. If they want to see anything for sale, if they want to see coming soons, again, it's up to them, whatever they're looking for or whatever you are at that time. You can hit see results at the bottom. And then also under the filter, if you go back, you've got an option for the price. If there's been a price reduction, any characteristics about the house as far as bedrooms, basement, bath, square footage, and so forth. It actually allows them to search by school ratings if they're looking for certain schools. And if you go down further, it allows them to search for as far as HOA fees, parking, basement, heating, cooling. Waterfront properties are in here as well. So again, there's a lot of information here. This is the best way to narrow it down. Otherwise, they're going to get a ton of homes popping up on there. So I'm going to leave mine just set the way it is. You can hit apply at the bottom. If you have an investor and he's looking at properties and he would like to rent some of those, this is a quick way for him to see what they're asking for rents in that area. They select on for rent. You zoom in. I take a minute here or so. You should be able to pull up if there's any rentals. And the nice thing about this is as you're looking at this and as you move your map, it's going to load whatever you're viewing. So you should be able to see more information with those homes pop up. You can zoom in and zoom out by pinching, going back and forth to get you in closer or further away. And then if they see all homes, I'm going to select that tab real quick just so you can see that, it will again pull everything. And I know when there's a lot, it sometimes takes a minute or so to load. So this is pulling all homes, which for what I have on my map, it wasn't showing much here at all, but there you go. Now we've got some popping up down here. So these are ones that show you that what they sold for. So a great way for you to see what sold recently in the area as well. You're, looking at the property with your clients, they're asking you, what do you think we should put an offer in? Here, let's take a quick look and see what's just sold. Okay, so that is how you change your map location, and you can put in the criteria and so forth for what you're looking for. If you look right underneath where it says for sale, for rent, all homes down in here, this is actually the map option. So you can remove that outline or you can save this search. So if they want to save this and they want to use this over and over, you can hit save search and then name it Macomb Township, homes for sale, whatever you may have put in there. It might be for a specific client, whatever it might be. You can just name it and they can do the same as well. Cancel. Okay. If you look in the top right corner of your screen, you have this great little camera. So if your clients are driving around on Sunday and then they send you that million list of homes, which I get them all day long, and most of them are sold already or pending, this is a great way for them to see if the property is available, more information about it. When they click on that camera, and because I'm going to see if it'll work for me, but because I'm in the house, when they click on the camera itself, it's going to actually allow them to take a picture, and we'll see if it actually shows a location right here. And it pulls location and it gives you the address. So it looks like it pulled my neighbors behind me. So you'll tell them an approximate value. It will say for sale, pending, sold, whatever it might be. And then they can walk through all the information. So let's take a look at this home. And as you scroll down, it's going to show property address. It tells 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath, the acreage, and a square footage. These are options for you as an agent only. So they're not going to see these options. There's a sell speed. Now you have a pro. There's 2 types of memberships. We have pro. Everyone has a pro membership. That's paid through MiRealSource, but there's a pro plus as well. So some items are shown with pro plus. That is an upgrade. There's additional charge for that, but it does have some great features as well. And I'll show you where you'll be able to see that information later on as we go through this. So sell speed will kind of give you an idea of what they feel if it's predicted, how many weeks on market, how fast it would sell. You cancel to go back. Start a safety timer. This is great if you are meeting someone you don't know. You can start the safety timer. It will give you whatever timing you give for it, and if you put in your contact, whoever your emergency contact is, if you don't turn it off by a certain time, it will alert them that you are at this property and that you may be under some type of distress. So it's great. You can actually extend the time too. So if you're there and it's taking a little longer, you can go ahead and add some extra time on it as well. You can send a rapid CMA. This will do a quick CMA for you. It's not going to give you anything really as good as it would be as you creating it yourself, obviously, because it's going to be a little bit better than when you go through Paragon and then create your cloud CMA and put in all of the characteristics and features and so forth. But it does allow you to select some of the listings that are in the area that are similar. It just pulls them for you. You select them, hit next, and walks you through those steps. Okay, the back button in the top left, I'm going to just hit that to go back. And I'm going to hit cancel. Under there, there's a net sheet calculator. When you select on your net sheet calculator, this will give them an approximate proceeds for a seller's net. So if this was their home, approximately what they would end up with. I'm going to hit done. And if I go down one more, this has got contact the owner. So this has options for me to call the owner. Now this is a Pro Plus. I don't believe as Pro that you do see the owner information, which you'll see on mine in a second. Because I have the Plus, you'll be able to see that, and I will show you. So we're going to scroll down a little bit further here. So you have this likelihood to list. It talks about it gives that sell score again. If they feel the property is going to be pressed, owners might want to sell at this time. It looks at how long the owner's been in the house. It looks at their mortgage history and how much they still owe on the house. If there's a lot of equity, that's how these numbers come in. You go down further, you've got your property history. This I find is really important because you can see this was off market at what date, when it was listed before. You can see the historical listing here and photos of it when it was listed before this. Then it was listed as a coming soon in April of this year. Looks like it's going to be listed April 21st. And it was sold in, it looks like, in 2000, and they paid $173. So So this will allow you to get notifications if this is a price change. So if this was an active property and they drop the price and I select notify me on price change, it will send me an email and let me know if the price has dropped, which again, great feature. It also shows you under property history, I've got mortgages. And again, this might be a plus option too. I'm not sure if the mortgage information pulls in, but it shows mortgage information and deed as well. Okay, if you go down further, here is the current ownership. So I can see the names, I can see the phone numbers, I can see email address. I get a lot of information as the plus, and I can see if there's anyone related to this that also lived in that property. Sometimes I use this if I have a client who tells me they've got a property in an area and I want to, search to see, who's on it. If we're doing a listing, maybe there's someone else still on title. I need to make sure that I have them on my listing package. So you can go through here and see that information. If you go down a little bit further, we've got our estimated value. So it's going to give you that quick AVM on it. Again, you still want to do a full CMA. I always suggest that because you're the professional and you're going to be able to get a better idea on their pricing. Rental, again, this is great information. If your client's an investor, he wants to rent out the property, kind of gives you an idea of what the rentals are in that area. Now we get into the property details. So it's going to tell you information about the house, the taxes, construction, exterior. It also gives you option here to go into the photos. If there's flashback photos, that is a plus membership, so I can see the photos from the previous listing from here. Commute will give driving directions. You can see a street view and a map view from here. So let's go to our photos first. Now there's not going to be much here because it's an off-market property now. But if I want to look at the flashback when it was listed back in April, and again, if you don't have plus, you won't be able to see this flashback section. I believe it's blurred out so you don't see the photos, but I can see the photos from before. So I use this sometimes if I'm in the house and now I see the price has gone up and they just bought it a year ago and now they're asking another 50, 60,000 more. Well, let's see, what they did in the house compared to when it was listed before. It kind of gives you an idea. Okay, there is an X on the top right. So next to that is flashback. That's one that we just looked at with the photos. You go to commute. This will allow you to do directions. So it can be from their work location, from school, to see how long it takes for them to get to the house. Street view. It's like your little Google guide. So this will allow them to go to a street view and take a look at the house and just kind of, all I'm doing is just using my finger, moving around. You can scroll in. You have this arrow that'll move you down that street. So I can actually take a walk down the street, just like your little Google guide. But again, this is more mobile friendly. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and X that out the top. And my last thing is just my regular map. So it just shows the map and location. Okay. So under there is schools. It will list some schools. So this is the elementary school, middle school, high school, and it gives the school ratings. And if they click on it, it actually will give you more information about the school itself. I'm going to hit done. Takes me back. Under here, I can set my work location again. It will give me directions how to get to from point A to point B to see the distance. I can walk the property lines. So if I'm outside, I can actually go through and it will help me walk. And you can see exactly where those property lines are. And just let them know you're here. And it's actually the view of the camera. And as you walk, you can see a line. You just follow that line and it takes you through. So you can exactly see, pretty much, it's pretty close to see exactly where it's at. Sometimes they're right on. But it's been pretty good. At least gives them an idea right now. Obviously, a real survey is going to tell them exactly what their property lines are. But this is a great way to see, is that tree on the neighbor's house or is it on my house? Under there, there's similar homes for sale in the area. These are for sale. Looks like there's a couple contingents. And then here are sold ones, pending and sold. Now, there's usually more information on here if it's an active property. So above all of these homes, there would be some more information about room sizes and taxes, HOA. I'm going to pull one that is active just to show you that. But it also will include documents. So if I upload my disclosures to my listings, which I highly suggest you do, then agents that are standing there in the house can actually open those up and send them to their client right there while they're standing there. And I've done this multiple times, which is great because my client will ask me, well, how old is the furnace? How old is the hot water tank? Is the roof been replaced? I can send everything to them, or I can open it up and we can review it while we're standing there. Okay. If they don't upload it, it won't be here, obviously. So, okay, so a couple things here real quick before I take you back a step. At the very bottom, if you'll notice, it has a little page here that's got like your address, and then it has a little bubble here. The bubble is a comment. So I can send a message to my client, they can send a message to me back and forth. The star is to market your favorites. So if they like the property, tell them to click on those stars. It drops them in their favorites, and then you can view those favorites, and it'll be easier for you to schedule showings for them. They don't have to send you all the addresses. To the right of that, this allows me to send this listing to whoever I'd like. And you have multiple ways of sending it. So I can send it by text message, I can send it by mail, Facebook, Homesnap. So you have multiple ways of sending this out to them. Okay, so, and at the top here, at the very bottom, when I took that picture of this, I can save my snap. So when you take a picture of a house, tell them to save their snap, and then go back to all their snaps and see which ones they had driven by and taken pictures of. And so it kind of gives them an idea of what they've looked at so far. All right, I'm going to go back at the very top here, and I'm going to cancel out my camera there. Okay, so that is how, these are the two different ways that they can find homes or search for homes. Is basically the address up top, you've got your map here, and even on your map, they can just actually zoom in and look at homes from here as well. So I do just for sale, and then they can click on them right from here. And then they can use their camera as well. So the map itself, let's take a look at things you can do on this map. So I'm going to remove my outline right now just because it's easier for you to view the map. So at the top, I can either hit that X that's in that address box right there at the top, or I can hit remove outline. Either one will get rid of it. If I want to see just my map and I want to get rid of my list, we're going to click on my map, just touch it. It's going to open up a larger map for you. And then you can zoom out so we can see an area better. So let's go over here where there's more streets and homes. I get more into like a subdivision area. Let's see where my at. Card. Okay, so I'm going to zoom over here by 24, so we need some streets. Okay, so as I'm on my street, at the right side of your screen, you're going to notice all these little icons popped up. So the very first one is your commute. So again, this is going to give you directions from one location to another, which we looked at before. I'm going to select cancel. Right below that is draw. I can draw my own map. I don't have to use the one that they create for me, so I can just click on that, use your finger, and you're actually just going to go around an area. It's not pretty, but it does what I need it to do. So there's my map. And again, once you have a map on the page, your option to remove it is always at the top here. So I can just remove that outline if I want to get rid of it. So just click on it there. Below your map drawing tool, you have your GPS. That's what we did earlier. So when you select that, it will move your map to wherever you're standing. So when I'm in a listing, I'm doing this all the time. As soon as I get in the listing, I click on that, because then I open up my listing and I can go through anything that my client wants to ask me about. So they'll ask me questions about square footage again or whatever it might be. I have it right there. And I can also just send it to my client right from there as well. Under your GPS, you have layers. So let's go ahead and take a look at our layers. So our layers will give us an option to see education area. So this will throw, let's move this because I'm zoomed in way too much to see a school, but let's move this over because I know if I'm card, there's schools over here. There they go. So this little graduation cap will start popping up on your page. And when they do, all they have to do is touch it, and it tells them what the school is. So it's Shawnee Elementary. When I select it, if you notice, a map just popped up. That map is the attendance zones for that school. So if I find a high school over here, I can click on it and they can see exactly what the attendance zones are. Let's see which one this is. That's also an elementary. It will show for any of these schools, it will tell you exactly what the attendance zones are for that area, which is great because if they're trying to stay within that area, now they can find, no, it's also Sequoia Elementary. But if I pull this one up, it gives you information about the school. And then if I look in here, I can now go back to my list. So below your layers on the right side of your screen is your list view. So if I select this, now the homes are popping up underneath that are within that area. So within that map that it's drawing for me within those attendance zones, I can now see what's available. Great way for them to view schools in the area. I'm sorry, not schools, but the houses in the area that go with that school. So, okay, so I'm going to go back to the top here. I'm going to just click on my map one more time. Okay, and then with your layers as well, you also have an option to see a street view here, and then you can zoom in. This is a little aerial view, and I can go into an area here. Looks like there's a school, there's a subdivision. So you can get a better aerial view of that street and that location. Okay. Alrighty, so I am gonna get rid of my aerial view, and I'm gonna get rid of my schools since I'm done with those. So that is everything on our map. Would like to pull an active property real quick for you though, because I'd like to show you the additional items you should see when you're looking at that. So let's go back down here. There we go, right here. So let's open this one up. It looks like it's open lots. This one. There we go, here's a house. So I'm gonna open up my house. So when you click on the map, you click on the house, it opens it up for you, like we were viewing earlier, but I'm gonna go down further to show you the additional features you're gonna see on here when it's active. So if I go down further past my listing details, so right here it says listing details, read more. So here's all the details about the listing itself. And I go down further, property summary. I go down here, here is your agent information only. So your client's not going to see this. This will give your agent remarks. It gives the status, any status changes on it. It gives also days on market, compensation, showing instructions, your occupancy, your loan, your financing information is here. I have a client who keeps sending me homes and she's looking for FHA and she keeps pulling them and they're not, but she doesn't see this. So if they're sending you things that are not the correct financing, they're not seeing the financing. So this is where you find it. It tells about the contract, disclosures, and here is exactly what I want to show you. Those confidential documents are your disclosures. So I can open this up. And here's my disclosure. And right from here at the bottom, I can actually just text this to my client or email to them right now. So if I'm standing in the house with them, or we can just go through and review everything about the house. So I love having this option here. And I love when agents actually upload their disclosures. It makes it so much easier. And then I don't have to go back and get the disclosures later and send it to my client. We can discuss it while we're walking through the house. So I'm gonna hit done. So those are yours. You can download both of them right from here. You have options again at the bottom here, so the rest of your listing details. Now there's more. So the rest of the options are down here under interior features where it says show more, select that. Now they're going to get everything else that they need. Bedroom sizes and room sizes and any types of rooms that are in the house and exterior information. So all this information will show up down here for them. I have to tell you, Homesnap is one of my favorite apps that we've had, and my clients absolutely love it. And it does I love this too, association information is in here too. So if there's pet restrictions, you can call and make sure that it's not that they have, correct size pet and so forth. Okay, go down further again, there's your local schools, property lines, and then it gives similar listings as well. And again, if they watch for those stars, anytime they see something they like, tell them just to click on that star. It marks them as their favorite, so you can see mine is now starred. And then you as an agent, I'll show you where you will see those as well. Okay, so that is everything in this whole search section. If you look at the bottom of your screen, this is the middle section where it says homes. So when you open up Homesnap, this is the first section you're going to see. If you notice at the bottom, we have additional tabs we're going to walk through right now. Okay, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go down to the bottom here and I'm going to go to the very left of my screen. This is news. This is going to give you a quick synopsis of what's going on, what happened in the last few days. So it will show you recent sales, recent properties that went up for sale, open houses. If you're sold, it'll just show just sold, just reduced. So it's just a quick overview of things that are just happening. It's almost like your market trends that we see on our Paragon page. It's just a quick view. You can see what's going on, tells you who listed what, if one sold, and so forth. So this is what the news does for you. I mean, you can open these up and see the full listing as well. You go back to the bottom of your screen and to the right of your news is messages. As I mentioned before, as you're looking at a listing, there was that little balloon and I could send a message to my client. They can send a message back to me. So my clients here, you can see they've sent me messages and they can send me those listings as well. So they'll send me the listing, and they'll say, whatever message they want to add to it, which I love this because I can go back and forth with them about a property as well. So I can respond back to them. They're getting the messages as well. Back to the bottom of your screen. We're going to skip over home since we've gone through that whole section, but we're going to go to the next two sections here. And this is things that we're going to set up for you as an agent and show you how you can invite your clients in here. So first thing is your pro agent one. We select that. So again, these are the agent-only features that you're going to see in here. Now, some of these are included. Some things are additional charges. For example, your advertise a listing. Whenever you have a new listing, it already sets it up in here for you. So if you click on advertise a listing, this section right here, it will show you your listings and it will show you what options you have. So there's previews of every one of these. So if I want to pull one of my listings and I just want to take a look real quick and see what they've got, if I click on previews ready, and they'll show you for whatever type of social media you want to post it on, what it's going to look like. So here's my Google. Here is my Facebook. There's my Instagram view. And I believe this is your Waze, which I love this. The Waze will actually place it on the map when people are driving. So when they drive by and they're somewhere within the vicinity of that house, it pops up as they're driving. So this is great. I know Colleen has used this. She has actually sold a home from this. So she absolutely loved this. And they'll offer you, sometimes they'll have all kinds of deals. They'll send you emails with the deal if you get so many for this price and so forth for advertising. So a great way to push out your houses out there. I know our market's crazy right now, things are moving fast, but you do get some that are sitting for a little bit longer than you wanted to, or you have that beautiful $1 million home that you really want to push out there. Another great way to advertise it. So if you decide to go further with this, in the bottom right corner, you can see next, and it walks you through. Okay, so I'm going to hit the X at the very top right corner here and close that out. And we're going to go back. The back button's in the top left. Your back's at the top left button typically, and if there's a next, it's to the right. So we're going to hit the back button. Okay, so now they also have this new Concierge. It's for leads as well. Again, I believe this is going to be additional charge, but it does give you different options to help get some leads in. So I'm going to hit close that X in the top right corner. Farm my zips. Again, another way for you to get to do some farming and leads and so forth. I'm sure there's additional charge for this one too, because I've not used this as well. Okay, I'm going to leave this. My dashboard. Okay, so this is going to show you your dashboard. And let's see, for real listing. So if I hit my listing, here's all my listings. And then it also shows my Google business. So as a Pro Plus member, it creates your Google page. It actually helps push you out on Google. So when people are running a search for a realtor, it's going to help get your name out there. So you can see here, because I'm on here, how many times I've had views, searches, and so forth. So if I view my report here, I can take a look of how many people are looking at me, reading my information, and the information being sent is sent by them. So I don't have to come in here every day and send them things. It is automatically being sent here. And let's see, here's my website. Now, when I have a new listing, those are being pushed on here as well. Okay, so let me go back to, whoops, I'll show you what it looks like here. So I gotta go back there. Trying to show you what it actually looks like. What's it down here? Because there's an area where you can tell, here it is. Here's my activity log. I want to show you what these posts look like, so you can see what they're posting for you. Okay, so this is one, real estate frequently asked questions. How do I sell my house? Buy another one at the same time. So these are all different ones. So I can see exactly what's been sent out, which is nice. And then if I have a listing, it will also post that as well. So again, a great way if you want to advertise more, if you're trying to get your name out there more, especially if you're a newer agent. So this is a great way to do this. So this is your Pro Plus. Again, there's additional fees. They'll run specials on this where you can get a year. I know around holidays, I've seen them go for like a year for $200 or $100, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So you just watch for it if you're interested, and you can get more information from there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the top of my page and hit back. And we're going to go down to reviews. So as a Pro Plus, again, this is a Pro Plus feature. I can request reviews from my clients or from other agents. I'm going to close this out. Manage my website. So if I click on this, this also allows you to create your own website with them. Now, this I have not done, and I believe there is additional charge for this as well. Manage clients and contacts. So I'm going to show you another page where we go in to do your clients, but this will show you the clients that you currently have. If you've been using Homesnap, you should be able to see who your clients are. So these are all my clients that are on my Homesnap page. If you look at the top above their names, we have a few other options here. So to the right of clients, we have favorites. If you select favorites, this will allow you to select agents, and you can make them their favorites. So of course, my first favorite is Colleen, and my second one's John. So two of our great trainers. So if you go to the right, the top again, recently view. I love this because I sometimes have to look up agents, and I do this for email addresses, phone numbers. When I'm at a listing, this is, to me, is the fastest way to call them real quick. If I have questions, if I have a client want to write an offer. So this will allow you to also look up agents right from here, and also your clients as well. So to the right of recently view, invited. When you invite them, you'll see them in here if they haven't not accepted it. So if they haven't, you're going to see them listed in here with a resend button to the right. So you can actually send that back to them again. You go to the right of that, they can actually request your Homesnap. So you can post this so they can actually request it, and then you can add them in here and invite them. Okay, so Homesnap has been around actually for a long time. I had a Homesnap before before MiRealSource started working with them. So as an agent, when I invite them, I'm giving them the link that actually links them into our MLS and all of our data. If they're going to Homesnap themselves and downloading it, they're not getting our MLS records. So tell them it's really important that they use the invite you send them. If you look at the top, there's an option here with a little guy and a plus sign to actually invite them right from here. So please, please, please be careful not to select invite all. If you notice, there's an invite all above your address book here. And I was actually teaching a class with one of the agents. And before I had a chance to tell him not to do that, he clicked invite all, and that sent it to every contact in his phone. So every agent and every doctor's office, and I mean, everyone he had in there, it just went out to everyone. So if you don't want to include everyone in your address book, I would suggest that you just go through this first and find who it is. So I can go through my contacts right here, or I can just go to the top and I can type in email address or phone number. Sometimes, and I'm not sure why, and I sometimes have this, is that I will look up their name and it's not pulling them up. So I'll just go to my address book, copy it, and just put it in here, and it finds them. It's usually never a problem, but once in a while I do see that happen. Okay, and then you just hit done. Once you have them selected, and I'm not going to invite them, but I'm just going to drop one on here real quick. Once you have them selected, if you look at the bottom of my screen here, there's an invite one. That's what you're going to click on to send it to them. So I can select multiple and then invite them all at the same time. All right, so I'm going to cancel that out, hit done. All right, so that is everything in our manage our contacts on our pro section here in this agent. So I'm going to show you another place here you'll be seeing them as well. Under there, you're going to hit find an agent, and you have an option to see your favorite agents, recently viewed agents, my office agents. So if I need to quickly see someone from my office, I need their number information, fast way to find them. Just come in here and then click on them. Just go to Heather Harris, and that will give you all their contact information as well, which is great. I can send her a message right from here too. All right. Now, one thing that some agents don't like, and actually, you know what, I'm going to go back to Colleen's or to John's because I'll show you their information. I'm going to hit back for a second. I'm going to go to my favorite. I'll pull John up here real quick. So managers and brokers love this if you're recruiting. Some agents don't like this. To me, it doesn't matter. I guess this is helpful maybe if you're trying to see if it's a newer agent you're working with, but below their contact information, you're going to see their deal flow for the last 24 months. So this will tell them, this tells you how many listings, how many buyers sites that they've sold, and then it actually shows them. To view these a little bit more, you would click on, for example, like your listing sites here on the left side. If you go down further, I can actually see my listing sites and analyze them. And we know sometimes not everything listed sells. In our market nowadays, it does typically, but it doesn't always. So you can see of her 21 listings, 20 of them have closed already, and one is under contract, it's pending. Okay. So if I go back, same thing with her buyer side. You can see her buyer, what she's actually sold, and if anything is pending, but it looks like she's got 11 of those as well. And she's got recent reviews. Those are on here as well. So if you go back to the top here, it's going to give you their average list price and their average sale price. So I know brokers and managers like this because again, they can quickly look at an agent and see are they producing, you know. But for me, again, as an agent, I don't recruit, but I like this because if I need to get through to my client, to an agent, and I want to write an offer, I have questions, I can quickly get to her contact information. So I use this all the time. All right, so I'm going to go back to my favorites. I'm going to go back to stuff here. All right, so that is agent information. Below all the agent information, you have this Homesnap Pro University. So this will help you if you need some help with things, but we also have handouts. And I know Debbie's wonderful. She is always great about putting these on here. We've created a ton of them. They're also in Paragon, and I'll show you where under MLS documents as well. Under your Homesnap Pro University, there's help and feedback as well. Okay, so we have one tab left. Let's go to the bottom again, to the right where it says me. This is where we're going to set a few things up for yourself to make sure everything's correct. So if you look at the top of your page, on the top left, you have a gear. Click on your gear on the top left. And again, I went to the bottom of my screen. I clicked on me all the way to the right. And the top left is my gear. So I can update my info from here. So just make sure they have the correct information for you. And then you can make all your changes here. And then if you go back, update my zip codes. I put in a few zip codes of areas maybe at the time when I was doing this that I was looking in. I have clients looking. You can add zip codes, and these will show up when you're looking under your news. You'll see some of the things pop up in there, like new listings and so forth. So I'm going to hit back. Payment methods, if you're doing the plus, then that's where you'll go in to do your payment methods. Otherwise, if you're not doing plus, you're just doing pro, which we have a lot of options in here just as a pro member. You don't have to put any information in there. Notifications. So what notifications do I want to see? What do I want to get for, my clients and so forth? So if somebody sends me a private message, do I want an email or do I want to push? So I do. Property alerts. You get updates if I want any of those ones that I selected for if the price change and so forth. Do I want to push through on a text? Do I want an email on it? Same thing with my saved searches. Review requests. So if somebody does a review for me on Google, I could do that. If there's an ad and I want to proof it, and if I want something through my Homesnap Pro ad, same thing. Ad performances, how I'm doing on there. Any Facebook comments, Pro Plus updates. Again, because I have the Pro Plus, some of these options I have turned on. And then my news feed, if I want emails on those, and if I want to push any new leads. Again, if you select the leads in here, the options for leads. New clients, if they accept your invite, I definitely want to see that because if they didn't, I can go back and hit that resend button. Who's viewed me, Homesnap showings, feedback survey results, access details reminder. Again, flash sales, this is good if you are interested in the plus or advertising, this is good because they will send you when there's a sale on something, newsletter, announcements, invitations, and then there's tech tips and guides. So if you want to turn anything off, you can, or anything on, turn it on. So that's your options in your notifications. So I'm going to go to the back top and hit back again. If you want your sounds on, so when something comes in, a message, whatever, if you wanted to make a sound on your phone or not. Do you want to share photos anonymously? If you want to send photos to someone, I'm not quite sure why anonymously, but privacy settings, I guess it lets you do agent in private mode. I'm not sure, I haven't used that, so I usually use my regular setting. Connect to Apple TV. Help, about Homesnap, you can tweet. I'm not sure about the get a high five, but I guess you can get a high five and see what's new. Okay, so I'm going to hit my back button here. So I'm going to go back to the top of my page, and that was my settings. So if you set these up, make sure they're in there. If you want to make changes, you can go back. So we'll go back again. Okay, so below that, you've got your photo, and then when you actually log in, you have to throw a photo in there. If you want to change it, you can. So there's a plus sign there, you click on it and you can put a new photo in. Same thing with your background. If you don't have a background, there's an edit button. Select that edit and it lets you choose as a background. So you can put in whatever you'd like. Done. Below that are my invite, my clients, and more. So invite is the same as we did in the step before. If you select invite from here, now I can type in a phone number, I can put an email address, or I can select them from my contacts. Hit done at the top. To the right of the invite, again, there's my clients. So I can see my clients in here. And then you still have, you see all the same tabs as well again here. Now, the one thing with your clients, I'm going to choose one because I want to show you this. If you have not set one up for a client, I want to show you what you can view when they're marking things their favorites. So I can send them a message right from here. But if I open up my client's page, let me see one that might have been put things in their favorites. I'm using this. Christina's been putting things. She has, let's take a look at hers, see if she has, yep, so she had put a few in her favorites. So here's Christina's page, and I can see right here, messages. This is my whole message filter back and forth with her, back. And then I can see all her favorites. So if she has any, there's a problem loading it, there it goes. Looks like she has one marked in her favorites right now, which is sold already. So there's her favorites. So I like this because they can tell me I have things in my favorites, and I'd like to take a look at those. So then we can go ahead and get them scheduled for them. Okay, so I'm going to hit back and back again. So I'm going to go back here to my clients. And again, you still have all the same tabs that we did in the section before when we were under the Pro section. So recently viewed, invited, requested, and so forth. Those are all in here too. So you have two places of getting to your clients and inviting them. So hit back. Okay, so those were clients. Under More, you can also change your profile image right from here, change your wallpaper. Your mortgage calculator is in here. So if I click on mortgage calculator and I'm standing there with my client, they're like, well, what do you think it's going to run us, what it costs, whatever. I can just drop some numbers in here real quick and give them an estimate. Obviously, it's not going to be right on, but at least gives them an idea. And hit done. And if I go below that, they have an affordability calculator. Same thing, they can kind of set it up what they're looking for. It gives them their debt to income ratio. Hit done. There's a net sheet calculator for your seller. Hit done here. History, view your snaps. So again, there's where your snaps are. So when you take a picture of something, it will go into your snaps here if you save it. Okay, and then my clients, I can view my clients again, another place you can get to them. So you have multiple ways to get to your clients. Share your profile. So if I want to share this, I can share this to any of my clients. I can share, in a message, Paragon contacts, wherever I want to send it out. And then that will allow them to click on it and request for me to send them an invite. Hit cancel. Okay, I'm going to hit back right here. And so that's everything on the top here. You can do stories. Now, I know a lot of people are doing those Facebook stories. They look great. I haven't honestly done one yet, but you can do your story on here too and share it on social media. Below that, you have a section here now, listings, favorites, recently viewed, and snaps. These are mine. So these are all of my listings. If I see all listings, so I can see all my listings, which are all sold right now. And then if you hit back, I can see my favorites. So I mark them as I go as well. So if I see things that I like that I might want to send to my client, or I sent them already, or they sent me and they're interested in it, sometimes I'll just throw them in here too. So it's easier for me to get back to them. So some of my favorites are thrown in here. Okay. So I hit back. And then you can also see, as you're opening these up, if you look, I can also scroll this way to see a quick view of some of them. To the right of favorites, recently viewed. So I can now see the history of ones that I've actually clicked on and viewed the houses as well. So if I pulled something up yesterday, I can't remember where it was, great way for me to just run back in here and go through these again and find out which house it was. I'm going to hit back at the top. And to the right of that, again, is snaps, which we've seen in multiple places. So I've got the snap there. Okay, so below that is your profiles. First thing is my public profile. So if you click on this, this is what people are seeing, just any clients or consumers out there, this is what they see when your page is out there. So they can message you from here. They've got the mortgage calculator information. I believe they get to see that as well, but this shows my business hours, my business description. They can ask me a question. They can see that Google ads that Pro Plus has been posting for me, my listings and so forth too is in here. And this is one of the listings that it pushed out for me too as well, my handle listing. All right, and then it has my photos. Hit back. Under my public profile, now I can see myself as an agent. What are other agents seeing when they open up my page? My agent only profile. And it's going to show my contact information. So a quick way just to make sure everything looks good. You can make any changes you need to then if you need to adjust anything. And your deal flow will pop up in here as well. And all your recent listing and buyer, again, it goes 2 years back. So that you'll see houses start dropping off and new ones will come in. Okay. And again, it's the analyze buyer and listing side will actually allow you to see, because if you open up an agent's, especially with the listing, they may not have sold. So this will allow you to see more, open up those listings and so forth. I'm going to hit back and back again. All right. So those are my public and agent profiles. As a Pro Plus member, I can see who's looked at my profile. So here's agents that put me up. Colleen pulled me up and took a look at it. So it just shows who might have pulled you up. And again, I'm probably on a lot of agents because if they're looking at plus, I'm constantly opening them up if I'm looking at a house and I have to call that agent because that's what I use all the time. So I'm gonna hit back. My saved searches. So earlier when we were on our map and we drew the map, to the right of remove outline, it said save search. I can put all that criteria and hit save search, which I have some saved. And then I can just load these whenever I want to view them again. And also you have a gear so you can actually go in here and make changes to it too. Cancel, I can update the search. So when you hit update, it takes you back in and make your changes. Okay, so I'm gonna hit back. So under my saved searches is my office. So there's my office information. Hit back again, once it loads. And you can't change any of this information. So this is all set up with our office as our brokers, but this does give all the agents when it loads, because we have quite a few, it does show all the agents in here as well. Again, okay, so under there, MLS Identities, this just shows what MLS you belong to. So if you are not seeing, if you loaded Homesnap, which I've seen agents do, they bring the app in, they don't put it in as they're an agent, then you'll know when you come in here, you should see MiRealSource in there. If you don't, then you're not coming up as an agent. So you're not going to see all the different things that we're looking through, as we go through this. So even if someone is doing the same thing, make sure that they're adding their MLS when they're going through setting up their actual Homesnap. Okay, I'm going to hit back. And that is it. So we have walked through everything in Homesnap. I don't think I missed anything. Is there anything, Debbie, any questions or anything I can answer?
Well, Sylvia was asking about the Homesnap Pro Plus and the fees on that one. So it is offered at a discounted rate of $100 the first year, but does go up after that. And actually, there has not been any more. We did have a few people come in a little late, naturally so, because we had to change our platform this morning. This video has been recorded. I will just get it edited, put a little front and a back end in there, and get it sent out to everybody here shortly.
Wonderful.
Oh yeah, it's a lot to digest.
There's a lot. So again, play with it. You're not going to break it. So just play with it. And then again, those handouts are on the right of your screen. So make sure you go under handouts, download all those great handouts that Deb went ahead and uploaded there for you. So they're PDFs, step-by-step, they're screenshots, they're very easy to follow. So what I want to show you real quick is I'm going to go into Paragon to show you where you can find on the listing itself, you can see your shortcut. So when you have your listing, you can see what the Homesnap looks like on it too. But again, when you go in this, just remember you're going to be on this page when you come in. And if you need to get your list back open, here's your double. This is exactly what you'll see when you open up. Run your searches, you got your sort and filter up here, homes, make sure if you're not seeing anything, sometimes agents will select for rent, don't realize it says for rent, nothing's popping up. Just watch your tabs up here. Make sure you either have for sale or all homes. If you hit all homes, then you should have a lot pop up. Okay, so let's look at Paragon, which hopefully my Paragon's still not open. Let me go back real quick. I'm gonna open up my Paragon page real quick and just show you on the listing itself. And meanwhile, if you still have a question, please send it in and I can still show you anything you need to know while we're on here. Okay, so here is my Paragon page. It's okay. Deb, can you see my Paragon page?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to move my phone down a little bit so it's not in the way. So I am going to just pull listing itself, just any new listing right now, just so I can show you where that's at. So let's pull. Oops. Let's pull one of these up here. Okay, so when you open the listing, you're going to open up that full listing report. So if you have the Legacy Full Agent Report, you should see your little Skittles, your little shortcuts here on the left, top left. If you use the Agent Detailed with Map, it's typically in the center area. And you're looking for the same icon that Homesnap has, so it looks like a little house. So if I click on that, you're going to see exactly what your Homesnap report is. And it's actually even on a desktop view, it's a really nice view. So here's the photos. There's an arrow here. You can actually arrow down. So you can see all the property, photos in the property, street view, you can do street view, a map view, all the information about it, read more. There's all the rest of the information. Property history, summary report, schools, and then all the features on the house. So it's giving you all the same information. So if somebody needs to see it or you're going through desktop and you want to view it, you can. And then these were the other options. They can put driving directions, the neighborhood map, the mortgage, similar listings in the area. They'll actually pull for them to see what's similar over there. Recent sales in the area. This is also good too, because if you want to see what they're selling for, looks like nothing's in here. And then listing information on the agent. So as you're going through this, you can click on the listing itself and see it. And then you can share this. So if you do share it, it should back up the information to the agent, because now you're sharing it to a client. You can mark as your favorite as well. So this is how to get to it. So again, all I did was just went to Paragon and went to that little shortcut right on the listing itself. Okay, so I think I went through everything. Is there any questions or anything you'd like me to show you again?
Yeah, if you guys are more comfortable with unmuting yourself, you certainly can do that. Looks like we're good.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. But hopefully you were able to follow along and just play with that. Again, it's very easy to use and your clients will love it.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you teaching the Homesnap class. It's a great class.
No problem. Have a great day. Thanks so much.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Deb.